Hello, receiving teachers, receiving students, and ATs. Thank you. You may be seated. Okay, before we go on to our new lesson topic for today, let's recap on what we learned in our previous lesson. Who can still remember what did we learn in our previous lesson? It is the last lesson for the substrand on rates and ratio. Who can still remember what did we learn in that lesson? Quickly, it is to the receiving students, you can give your answers to your teacher. 80s, can we have some answers? Okay, my friend over there.
Scale drawing.
Scale drawing. Who can tell us some things that we got to consider when we are working with scale? Tell me one thing that you learned from the lesson that we had.
Measuring distance.
Okay, measuring distances, very good. Let's have one more.
Calculating the actual distance.
Okay, calculating the actual distance. Okay, let me ask you this question. How many types of problems that are involved when we are working with scale or when we are doing scale drawing? Who can tell the class how many types of problems that involves scale drawing? To the receiving students, you can give your answers to your teacher. 80s, who can tell us how many problems?
Two.
Is he correct by saying 2? Yes or no? Okay, yes. There are 2 types of problems that we got to consider when we are working with scale drawing. So I hope you had those in your books from our previous lesson. For today, we are now going on into our new unit, and it begins today. We are still on the strand number and application, substrand directed numbers, and our learning outcome is 8.1.7, apply directed numbers to solve problem. Our lesson topic for today, the unit 3 is all about positive and negative signs. In this unit, we are going to be dealing with those 2 different signs. We are also going to be learning how to add and subtract directed numbers using positive and negative signs, applying positive and negative signs in solving problems, and also we are going to be learning on how to multiply and dividing directed numbers using the 2 different signs, which are positive and negative signs. I know we have learned all this in grade 7. This should be just a revision for us. Our lesson topic for today is number line. As you can see on the floor, we have a diagram of a number line. What to achieve in our lesson for today. Number one, we got to know the method on how to use number lines to understand directed numbers. That's the first thing that we got to learn, remember, and practice it or apply it in the activities that yet to come. Number two, understand the relationship between positive and negative signs by adding or subtracting. Supposed to be directed numbers. Or understand the relationship between positive and negative signs by adding or subtracting. In this case, we are dealing with directed numbers. What is a number line? We will see on a number line, there are lines drawn with numbers and also with signs. Class, I would like you now to read what is on the screen. What is a number line? Together. Okay, 80s, can we read that again? With life in us, we are about to die. Together, a number line.
A number line is a diagram with a set of positive and negative numbers. It can be used for adding and subtracting directed numbers.
Okay, that is the simple definition for a number line. Hope we remember that. What do we call this diagram that is on screen now? Who can tell us? Raise your hand. Okay, my friend over there.
Number line.
Okay, correct. Her answer is a number line. Looking at the diagram also, we have the two different, what do we call them? Okay, where is my positive? On my? Okay, it is on my right. When I'm facing you, it should be on my left. You are facing the screen, so it's on your right. Okay, we have the negative first, then we have the positive. So negative numbers are less than, negative numbers are less than 0. Remember that. And positive numbers are more than 0 or bigger than 0. So remember that simple rule. Rules and methods for adding or subtracting directed numbers. Number one, when adding directed numbers, always move to the right according to the positive signs. That's the first point that we got to remember, or the rule for adding directed numbers. Next one, when subtracting directed numbers, always move to the left according to the negative signs. And the last point for us to follow, all numbers bigger than 0 is positive, and all numbers that are less than 0 are negative. So from that number line, I already told you which ones are negative numbers and which ones are positive. We have an activity to be demonstrated by selected students, and we are going to be using the number line that is pasted on the floor. I will give you the instruction and you are going to be moving. And later we are going to see what is the secret word that is going to be formed. Okay, I would like 5 volunteers. 1 from group 9, 1 from group 4, 1 from group 3, 2 and 6. Is it 5 students? Okay, quickly. Okay, thank you. We have 5 students here. They are going to demonstrate to us how they are going to be moving according to the instructions that I will be asking them to follow. Okay, we will start. Who's going to start for us? Okay, Yonita will start. We always start at 0. When we are using a number line, we start moving out from 0. You cannot start from anywhere on the number line. We must always begin at the point 0. Okay, Yonita will start moving. Okay, Yonita, I'd like you to stand at 0, and you are going to move positive 5. Class, I'd like you to stand and watch. Okay, Yonita will be moving positive 5. Start. From there, I will be writing, giving her a secret letter. Next one, Eddie. You are to move, or then move negative 4. You are starting from here and you are moving negative 4. And he's got his secret letter. Next one. Korai, I'd like you to then move from Eddie, positive 3. Habi, you're next. From Korai, you are going to move negative 9. And our last friend, you are going to then move from where Abby is, positive 3. Okay, I would like now our friends, they have already moved according to those different signs. And now they will show to us the secret word that they have formed. Thank you, boys and girls. Can you flesh out now the words that you have formed according to your movement? Okay, you face these people and then you can all turn and face your other friends then. What is our word, this group? What is the secret word? Maths. Okay, you turn around and show it to these other friends. Okay, the word is going to be spelled backwards because they were facing this way when they were moving. Class, I'd like you to give 5 big claps to our friends for doing the demonstration. Okay, thank you. They have done that for us to see. We will now do it within our own groups. I will be giving you the number lines, and you are going to work in groups to get the activities done. You have your activities also in your workbook. You can go by that using this number line that I will be distributing out. So clear out your table so that discussion is done and not people talking and doing other things. To the receiving teacher, I hope you have prepared those materials. I did told you or informed you in our previous lesson what's needed for today's lesson. On the paper, you have 5 number lines. So you can decide which two to do which activity in order for you to get it done quickly. You have activity 1, activity 2, activity 3, 4, and 5. If we are unable to finish those 5 activities, we will do the others for homework. Work in groups, discuss and try to work out what are the secret words that you are going to form. Activity 1 is on the screen, and it's also in your workbook. I'd say you have 2 minutes for each activity. Shouldn't be that hard. You can write on the timelines that I have given you. Discuss with your friends. We have part of activity number 2 on screen to the receiving students. The slide shown is still part of activity 2. Be careful with the 2 signs, negative and positive, and the directions that you are going to be moving. When you are writing out your letters on those number lines, do make sure you write them out clearly. Okay, part of activity number 1 is on the screen now. To the receiving students, this slide is still part of activity 1. You make sure copy that quickly into your books. I hope we have finished activity number 1. Yes? Okay, go on to with activity number 2. It's now on screen. To the receiving students, we are now on activity 2. I think we are now on activity number 3, I hope. Yes or no? It doesn't mean that you are going to write on all the papers. One can be a writer, prepare everything on one number line. positive 2, 1, 2, positive 1, negative 1, 2, 3, 4. You could check this again. This one is correct. You check this again. Ella, what was your answer? We should now be finishing activity number 2. Okay, groups in the room, raise your hand if you have finished activity 1 and activity 2. Hands right up. Okay, very good. Seeing that majority of the class have finished, we will take this time to go through the answers to those 2 activities. You have the other 3 timelines with the 3 activities that you are going to do for homework. In our next lesson, we are going to go through the answers. Can we have an answer from group number 9? For activity number 1, what is the secret word that your group have found from the puzzle? You others, sit down quietly and listen to what Janita will tell the class. To the receiving students, your teacher will choose a volunteer to present to the class what his or her answer is.
Wait for me.
Okay, group 9 has come up with the secret, not the word, but it's a secret phrase or a sentence, which is wait for me. Did we all come up with the same phrase? Yes. Put your hand up if you did not get that phrase. Be honest with yourself. Okay, I'm sure everybody got that correct. It looks simple, this activity, but you got to be very careful at times. Can you do your correction? Number 2, activity number 2, who would like to give us the answer? Okay, let's have group number 2. Let's listen to group number 2. They will tell us what the secret word is. Are we listening?
Our secret key phrase is bring me the pen.
Okay, she has told us the class, or made a mention of what the secret phrase was. Can everyone repeat what she just told us? Again? Okay, the secret phrase that were formed out from activity number 2 was bring me the pen. I know some people bumped into some of the areas where they were not moving according to the instruction that were asked of them to do, and they were writing their letters in other sections on the number line. So those are the 2 answers to our 2 activities. You have the other 3 to do for homework. Our key steps for us to remember. Can everyone read what is on the screen? Loud and clear, all barrels down and read. Okay, remember that. You have your activities there to do. So remember that key step. Next one. Hope we remember which side is negative and which side is positive on the number line. The last one. Okay, remember those 3 key points or key steps for us to follow. Keyword for today's lesson is, everyone? Number lines. Our next lesson, we are going to be now applying the positive and negative sign in addition and subtraction of directed numbers. To the receiving teacher, take note of the materials needed for our next lesson. With that, we have come to the end of our lesson for today. Thank you very much for your effort and participation during the lesson. Thank you, ATs.